Hello, hello. Welcome to a new episode of the ALANAmagazine Podcast. I'm so excited to speak with you all today and meet with you all. I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. I have with me my wonderful guest, Krystyne Payne-McDonald. Krystyne, would you care to say hello to everybody?
Hi everyone. Hi Elahn. Good to be here.
I'm so happy to be able to speak with you and meet with you and learn more about your journey. Um, You've worked with brands like Adidas, and you've collaborated on projects for the Olympics, if I'm correct. So
Yes, yeah.
I'm really curious. I'm really curious, and I'm so excited to meet with you and learn from you and discuss your journey. And as we get started,
Yeah.
my first question for you is, what is the meaningful item that you are wearing today?
So the meaningful item I'm wearing today is actually a new one. Well, newer, a few months, are my glasses. So
Oh.
until I never used to be confident in wearing glasses. So I'd always used to pick
Mhm.
something that's like black or like clear so that it kind of blends into the background. But this is kind of like my first expression of
Pop.
like, yes, I'm wearing glasses and this is me and this is the vibe. So
That's
these
awesome.
are like a nice piece. Also the color is quite significant because I have a lot of pink things, and the color
Yeah.
kind of gives me energy. It makes me happy, so it's just like a small expression of myself that I wear almost every day.
No, that's amazing because I love that it's pink because that's my favorite color.
Oh, it is. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, pink is my favorite color, so I feel like that's super cool. It's pop, it's glam, it's
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm
so
here to still
fashion,
get
which
things
is kind of
done. Yeah,
a
yeah.
cliche, but yeah.
I love that. I love that. So
Yeah.
my next question for you is tell us a little bit about your craft. For the viewers who may not know, what exactly is end-to-end product development within the fashion realm?
Yeah, so essentially, the I guess the easiest way to describe it is I'm realizing an idea and bringing it to life. So bringing it to something tangible. So like it's kind of like a sketch to the shirt that you're wearing, or the brace that you're wearing, or the
Yeah.
shoes that you're wearing. So it's working like internally with designers, with material developers, with like merchandisers, so the people in the business that buy the right quantities of what you want to sell, and basically developing
Mm-hmm.
that product, fitting it on models, working with the factories to make it to the right specification so that when you sell it in the store, when I buy it as a customer, I'm super happy. What I've seen in the image is what I'm getting, and like the experience of wearing the clothes is aligned with what the brand intends for that product. That's a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I think it's interesting because sometimes, yeah, a lot of people do have ideas, but they don't know how to bring it to life.
100%.
So it's
Yeah.
like to see it come into fruition. How does that feel for you to see an idea come into fruition?
I love it, and that's why I got into it in the first place. So another thing that I have near me, and I know I was only supposed to have one thing, but I brought something that I'm not wearing, which is kind of this Vogue
Oh,
book. This was like basically what
okay.
started my whole journey in fashion. Not this particular book, but like this magazine, because I saw it on the shelves. And they have the amazing covers with the models wearing like the most elaborate pieces, and I thought,
Yeah.
how amazing is that someone had that wild, absurd, abstract idea and now someone's actually wearing it. So I think for me, it's like the problem solving of how to create the shapes, how to connect them together, and how to
Mm-hmm.
make it wearable. Because a lot of times, especially with high fashion, some of the designs, when they're in their pure form, are works of art. They're not meant to be worn, but like going through the
Yeah.
process of actually
Yeah.
making that something that you can wear and experience every day is, yeah, it's something that's kind of true and dear to my heart. And I just love the tangible things. I love touching
Of
materials. I like feeling
course.
materials. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a. I think
It's
that
like to it's I was gonna say it's like it's in your head, it's up here, it's in the ethers, and
Yeah,
now like
but I
with
need to
your
bring it
hands,
down.
like you're
Yeah, I need
bringing
to
it down.
conjure the magic up and like, yeah, make it real. So that's like
That's so
I
cool.
really love that. Yeah, and I love the feeling that you get, especially because I have come from a place where I've designed myself, but I've also come from a place where I'm working with other designers, and I like the feeling that those designers get when they see their ideas brought to life. And maybe they haven't
Yeah.
got the skills or they haven't got the connections to be able to do that, but like seeing the joy that it brings, that's also like an added bonus.
That is like I'm getting so excited just hearing that because that's something that I enjoy too, like just to see. It's like it's a little
It
baby.
is, it is. And then it kind of matures and then it
It's
goes
a
out to the world.
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then like it shares like this light, like it radiates, like and it brings joy to other people. Like it's so inspiring and it's so fun.
it is. And you get to, I'm totally going off the topic here, but also another thing
I don't
that's
care,
really
just
good
go.
is that you get to interact and like meet loads of different people from different walks of life. They bring their own
Mhm.
perspectives, their own ideas, and like that kind of melting pot that happens when you're developing a product. it
Mhm.
it's like a learning experience every time. Like every time I come out with
Yeah,
something new that I never knew before, which is also really good because I enjoy the learning part of it as well. So it's a
of
I recommend.
course.
Like if anyone else wants to get into
Yeah.
it, please hit me up. Let me know. I'll give you as much insights as I have. But I love sharing it with people because it's a great experience. It's a great industry to be in, and it's a very unique one as well.
Oh, I can only imagine. I guess my question for you is how did you like what made you even pick up that Vogue book? Like what drew you
Yeah.
to it?
So it's really funny because when I was in school, I did industrial design, so I never really thought about fashion. And then
Mhm.
one summer, I was just in the shop and I saw this magazine, and it caught the cover just caught my eye. Like the piece was like really ornate, and it almost looked structural. And I was like, oh, that's quite interesting.
Mhm.
So I picked it up, and obviously after flicking through, you kind of like, oh my gosh, there's like piece after piece after piece, and you're like, this is amazing. And then in
Yeah.
my mind, because I'm thinking structurally, I'm like, how do I make this? How does this go together? And then I happened to find a course for pattern making, and it was super basic. It was like how
Mhm.
to make a skirt, and I was like, okay, why not try? Like
That's fun.
I
Yeah.
exactly right. Like I don't know what it is, but like
Like
I
why
get
not?
to build something. Why not? And
Yeah.
then through that course, I I kind of drew the connections between the two because like there's a lot of measuring, there's a lot of like precise detail of how to build things. So that for me translated over quite nicely to the fashion. And then from there I was like, well, fashion's also an option. And then I don't know,
Right?
it just carried on, I guess.
So you have an industrial design background. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's like in school. So that's because
In school.
okay, I might be showing my age a little bit here. Back then, fashion wasn't really something you could do until you got to university. So in school, it was
Oh,
like
wow.
industrial design or like home economics, which is like cooking and that kind of
Yeah.
side. So I was like, well, I guess I want to do industrial design because it's like way better. It's like
Yeah.
you can make crazy things. Like that's what I want to do. And then kind of later, as I progressed in my education, when I got to university, the pathway for design fashion was there. So I was like, oh yes, now's my time. Like I should
Mhm.
totally go into it. So that's how I transferred over. If that didn't exist, I probably would
Okay.
still be in industrial design because it was amazing.
Yeah. So how do you feel like industrial design helps you with fashion design?
Appreciation for the details, I think, and
Yeah.
also
Mhm.
the precision of like the planning of the build because
Yeah.
I'm gonna take like a bottle for example. It looks very simple, but you have to get the right diameters, the right depth, like the even the thickness of the material needs to be correct for it to be usable. So that kind of precision leans quite well into fashion, where it's like, if I'm making a dress,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I need to know the body measurements. I need to make sure, there's enough for the bust, waist, hips, if we're talking about a woman. I need to make sure on a shirt the collar is the right depth, it falls correctly. So kind of that attention to detail is probably
Yeah.
the best thing to describe. Yeah, that's what kind of really stuck in my mind.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you said that because when you were talking about what it looks like to do end-to-end design, like it sounded very detailed oriented.
It is.
So it sounds like you're a person that loves the details
I do.
because each detail is important. Each detail nurtures that idea, and it's like you're like it's almost like a pouring into
It is.
if I can. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
And it's
what I'm
like
hearing.
it's like a domino effect as well. Like, if every small detail isn't stacked up correctly, then you kind of throw everything off. So I think it's
Yeah.
really, me personally, I think attention to detail is great. Also, I would say another thing is that I believe in wholly is collaboration and the power of,
Mm,
I do what I do, but I can't do what I do without the teams that I work with, without the
the
external
team.
people I work with. So like everyone coming together to kind of make everyone's working towards the same end goal, right? They want to make the best product
Yeah.
they can. They want to surprise and delight the consumer. So it's definitely a collaborative effort when you're in this industry.
Yeah. I love that. It almost kind of sounds like basketball to
I
me.
know, right? Yeah, we're a team.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone's got their
Yeah.
position. Yeah, totally. It is exactly
Pass
that.
the ball, pass the
But
ball.
all
No.
goes back and forth. Exactly. Yeah.
That's so fun. I love that. Okay, so my next question.
Mhm.
Your journey in fashion has spanned everything from launching your own contemporary brand to leading product development at major global companies.
Mhm.
Looking back, was there a defining moment where you knew that this is what you wanted to do? I know you mentioned picking up the book for Vogue. Was there anything else that really sparked your interest in this path?
Um. Oh, this is a tough one. Okay, so I think one, like through my work, I've been fortunate enough to work on a lot of collaborations, and that's like with external partners. And the one, I guess, that gave me the most inspiration would be with Roxanda Ilinčić that I did with Lululemon. So if you don't know,
Hmm.
she's a London-based designer. She's very well known for her structural aesthetic, her bold use of color, and of course her attention
Hmm.
to detail, which I mentioned before. And during that
Yeah.
process, it was really interesting to see how the two worlds kind of collided. So, of course, when you
Hmm.
work with more than one designer, you have to make sure you incorporate both points of view. But being able to distill that kind of grand, bold aesthetic that's so well known into something
Yeah.
really functional, technical, and a lot simpler as like gym wear, athletic wear. Like
Yeah.
the juxtaposition of the two was really interesting, and the way that we did that through the cut lines, through like development of
Mm.
trims with like the pops of color and like the combination of the
Okay.
two, as well as like some different silhouettes. That one really taught me how to think differently and how
Hmm.
I may come to a project or a piece of work and think I know something and I really don't. Like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
so much to learn. There's so much that so much other people can inspire me to evolve even further. So yeah, I would say that was kind of like that left a big impression on me.
That's super cool. So it was the fact that in this door that you walked through, it kind of challenged what you thought you knew
It definitely
and
did.
showed you like, oh, there's a whole nother world that I still don't know.
100%. And there's also more than one way to get to that end goal. I think that's important because I
Mm,
know
okay.
A lot of times when you have, especially when you have your own vision, you're like, okay, this is the way, this
Yeah.
is the path. If anything goes wrong, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. But actually, if
Yeah.
you kind of stay open, stay curious, you can see that actually you probably have 5 or more roads to get there. And like, it's kind of like a
Stop. Oh
pick
my
your own
gosh.
journey, right? If I go left,
Yeah.
oh, maybe this can happen. And if I go right, oh, maybe this can happen. So it's kind of like staying open to that and like just welcoming it, embracing it.
That sounds like a much bigger idea. Like this is like, of
I'm
course,
sorry.
this is big. Like your story is big, and it's very
Yeah.
important. And I feel like is also like really good advice as well, with not having such a fixed mindset, like in your journey. Like sometimes you think A to
You
B,
shouldn't.
but
Yeah.
like to allow for some flexibility.
100%. And I would add to that, like, even my own journey has been a bit of that, right? Because when I first started in the industry, I was actually working at Thomas Pink, which is more of a high fashion brand, not a sportwear brand. And now I work for a brand that's like truly athlete driven,
Yeah.
intense sport. So if I thought I'm only going to work high fashion, I never would have even looked over the side of the fence. But like,
Yeah.
stay open. Your journey things pop up at times that might seem like out of the ordinary, or maybe like, oh, that might not be for me, but like, why not try it?
Yeah.
Like, try everything twice.
Of
Try
course.
everything twice.
I love that. I love that. And it's also like you learn something new about yourself, or you
You
learn
do.
something new that
You
can
do.
apply to what like your main vision was. It just adds another layer to it. So that makes a lot of
It
sense. That
does.
makes a lot of sense. Okay.
And
So,
also,
sorry.
you also learn about things that maybe you thought you wanted and maybe you don't. And that's also okay. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure I mention that also, because I know some things don't work out, but that's fine.
Yeah.
We learn and then we pivot. You know?
Yeah, you pivot and you kind of become even more aligned with what is right for you.
100%. Yeah. And you just go that step further. It's great.
Yeah.
We're all on this journey together.
It's
This
a
is great.
wonderful
I like
journey.
this. I know.
A wonderful journey. Okay, my next question.
Okay.
So
Yes.
you've worked with some of the most influential brands, Adidas, Lululemon, Reigning Champ, each with its own culture and creative approach. How has working across these brands shaped your own creative philosophy?
Yes. So each brand I go to, there are definitely similarities, but I also notice kind of the unique differences. And that all kind of adds to my experience, but also, I guess, as an industry, the collective experience that you have. Like, not everyone is going to be the same.
Yeah.
And you kind of celebrate those differences, right? So for me, the first thing is like positivity.
Yes.
Like, I'm always like, the glass is overflowing. Everything is great. There's an opportunity in everything. If something's not going like quite the way I expected, okay, let's turn this around. Like, how can we turn this into an experience I can learn from, or how can I make this an informative experience that can help me for the next time? You know, that kind of attitude. So that's like number one. Number two would be, I guess, trust your intuition, but know that that's just the start of the equation. Like, you have your gut feelings about things, but you know, you might need information from other people to help
inform,
bring you to the next level, you know, or you might need help to actualize something. Like,
yeah,
there's only so much you can do on your own. Just know that there are other people around you that can support you and that can help you get to that next stage that you're going to. And then my last one, which I mentioned before, was about curiosity. Anything can happen. You just need to see it, right? Everything's an opportunity. Everything is an adventure waiting to happen. Yes. I don't know. Like, I don't know what other cheesy line I can say, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
approach everything with this kind of open mindset so that you do give yourself more opportunities that way. I believe
Mm-hmm.
that.
Like being open to wonder and delightful surprises.
100%. And be open to like the unexpected.
Yeah.
Because people are generally like, I mean, people in general don't like change, don't like things that are new, but who knows? Like that could be the best thing in your life. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you never will unless you stay open, you know?
Right.
Like,
I think, yeah, and I feel like being open requires you to be vulnerable. That's one thing that I
yes,
feel like
yes,
is important, that
it
being
does.
vulnerable, because what you're saying is how important collaboration is. It's so
It
important
is very.
to 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 know your skills, to know your talents, to know your worth, and at the same time, like when it is appropriate, to be vulnerable in that collaborative experience.
Yeah. I'm always vulnerable every day, including right now. So this is, and again, I like from this, I'm learning. Like I'm really glad for this connection because it's been amazing. Like meeting new people. So yeah, it's stay open, stay curious, and just go for it.
Go
Just
for
go for it.
it.
What's the worst that can happen? Yeah,
Go for
just
it.
do
I
it.
love
I
that.
think
Yeah,
that is the
just do
answer.
it. Nike. No.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, my next question is explain one thing in Web3 for total beginners.
So I'm going to link this one to fashion. So digital fashion that's supported by the blockchain. It's
Yes.
essentially digital fashion is essentially fashion that exists in a digital form. So it's non-tangible, and it's designed to be worn like by an avatar or to be
Mm-hmm.
showcased in kind of like digital environments or digital galleries, or like maybe it's like a Roblox
Yeah.
piece. And the whole thing I love about Web3, specifically about it being on the blockchain, is that usually digitally it's hard to prove things are authentic. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially now, like you can't tell whether it's the original piece or a copy. So, like, I like the piece of being able to know who's made it,
Mm-hmm.
who owns it, and then like when you trade these assets because they're tradable, like keeping that record of who has it or who's had it,
Mm-hmm.
but also still crediting the original creator. So
Of
that's like
course.
my little basic,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my basic of
Of
it.
course. And you said something very interesting that I want to touch on, with it
Mm.
being almost like an intangible aspect of it, but still ownership, ownership over the idea,
So,
ownership of like the
yeah.
person who created it. How do you think this could help influence or impact end-to-end design, something that is tangible?
It is. Um, I think it definitely changes the game because kind of unless you are the designer, like it's your label, usually designers don't get any credit
Yeah.
for that piece being sold. And I think it's almost a way of increasing traceability. So
Mm-hmm.
just a little side piece here. Traceability is where you essentially can see where a materials come from, who the farmer is, the factory that's made it, how many miles it's traveled. So it kind of adds to that kind of traceability piece by also adding, hey, this is a person who's designed this piece and they've put the same love and care as everyone else through this chain to create this piece that you now love and is a part of your wardrobe. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely um, supporter. The industry isn't there yet, but I do feel it's something that could come in the future.
Yeah, giving designers that credit, that respect,
Yeah,
that visibility, I think, um,
hundred
like
percent.
that goes along with the
And
traceability.
also, yeah, and also for the consumer, more awareness of
Mm,
the people that are involved in that piece that they're buying, which
yeah,
is never a bad thing.
and I feel like it is one of those things that is very like savory, where you get to not only like wear the design or purchase the design, you get to know who's a part of it. Like like just like going back to the details, like just enjoying like, oh, this person did this and they collaborated
Yeah,
with this person, and like just understanding like
exactly.
I'm a part of this picture as well, like as
I agree.
I don't want to say like a consumer, maybe a conscious consumer. Like I'm
I would say conscious for sure.
yeah.
And also I think it speaks to like now people are more into like handcrafted
Yes, I
those
am.
kind of pieces. So it kind of lends. Yeah, I knitwear.
Yeah,
If someone makes me personally a jumper, I'm like, this is the best piece I've ever owned in my whole
I
life.
love that.
So
I
yeah,
love that.
it kind of leans into that, right? Like, I want to know who's made it. I want to celebrate the fact that they took 5 days to knit this jumper. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a coming together, like celebration of the skill,
Yes.
which I think we kind of lost a little bit.
Yes, like it makes you feel more connected to the
It does.
creation. It's like this is
It
telling a
does.
story. Um,
Hmm.
it feels good to wear, whether it's like physical or digital. And like
That's
this
true.
person like put their heart and soul into this, and like I'm a part of it,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited. That at least that's how I
Yeah, it's like a
feel.
celebrate. Yeah, it's a celebration of the craft. So I'm fully in support of that. I really love to support people in what they're doing and what they're creating. So I think it's a really good way to do that.
I love that. My next question is, what do you want the
Hmm.
world to know about the Collab Collective? I hope I said that right.
You did, yeah. So we are a consultancy. We partner with brands, but also
Hmm.
designers to create better, do better, and build better products for the consumers. And it's all powered by collaboration, hence the name Collab.
Yes.
So the way we're doing this is through optimizing the product creation processes, um, building product strategy, and then also kind of product product management, excuse me,
Hmm.
like through the development of those pieces. Um, the the reason why this was created is because a lot of these services or skills exist for like big companies, but they're not so accessible for smaller brands or people just
Okay.
starting out.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like a, hey guys, there's someone here for you, um, bringing all that big brand knowledge into a good package that can suit you depending on what you want to do. Like, do you want to start your first collection? Do you want to scale? Do you want to explore new avenues? So this is kind of like a collaborative approach to building brands, basically.
Oh, that's
I think that's
amazing.
the easiest way to say it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I've been fortunate enough to work with the bigger brands, as I said before, but
Hmm.
also a lot of small brands who are
Yes.
kind of in their kind of design initiation stages. So working with them through tech packing, through prototyping and fitting on the models and sourcing materials and trims. Like essentially it's a beautiful
Hmm.
process that
Hmm.
we've been able to be a part of.
Wow.
And yeah, I long may it continue.
Yeah. So, okay, I this is something I'm curious about is like what
Yeah.
are the gems that you get from working with the bigger brands, and then what are the gems that you get from working with the smaller brands? Like what are the good things?
So, okay, from the big brands, it would be how to do things at scale in an
Mhm.
optimized way. So, getting the most for your money, let's
Yes.
say, or doing things the most efficiently. So, it's kind of like less time. Because with the way things turn today for the bigger brands, they need to get things out the door quite quickly.
Okay.
So, that for them, that's kind of like a gem. I would say for small businesses, I think that the gem is in, and this is for me, and I would hope they say the same thing, is in the enrollment and education of the process and how it actually works. Because I
Okay.
think when we go through school and we learn about it, we have this kind of idealized view of how things come together, but then the reality is quite like shocking. So like
Okay.
being able to walk through that process with them and kind of destigmatize things and walk through it in a way that actually makes sense for them and not just like applying a big brand version of something and just scaling it down, like actually having custom processes for that brand depending on the size or the product that they're making, and ensuring that they can also bring a product to life in a good way as quick as they need it to come to life, and also so it's not super expensive, because running
Yeah.
the business is hard, it's
Yeah.
expensive,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
like trying to do that in the best way we can, but while also preserving like the brand, like this is what we want to stand for, this is the product we want to put out, and this is the quality that we want to be known for. So I think it's a balance of the two.
That's fun. Those are fun questions. Like, what are your values? What do you
Yeah,
want to be known for? Like, I think those are
for
fun
sure.
questions. Those are fun
because
questions.
because anyone can put a product out, right?
Yeah.
But what do you truly want the world to know about this brand?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's always a question that kind of stops people, and they're like, oh, I need to think about this. And then when we get to the root of it, it's actually quite nice.
I love
So
that. Getting to like the heart of it, like getting to
yeah,
like this is why I did
yeah,
it.
because we want to connect on a more personal level, right? So
Hmm.
I think that helps to do that, and having that kind of north star when you're creating the product is really important as well, to make sure that you're building the best products that you can.
I love that. That's amazing. So let's talk about Mother
Mm-hmm.
Earth. What inspired you to
Yes.
create this artwork, and what is the story you'd like to tell with this piece?
Yeah, so Mother Earth, so the inspiration for when I first hear it, you know, you think of the world, you think of nature. And
Hmm.
so I was thinking kind of, what does Mother Earth symbolize? And to me, it symbolizes connectedness.
Hmm.
So from that, I was like, okay, connection. What connections do I see in nature? And at first I was thinking webs, but
Yeah.
at this particular time, my prompting skills were good, but not good enough to create a material that looked like a web. So the
Hmm.
next thing I went to were like tree roots. They're a bit thicker, and then it's quite akin to knitwear, and knitwear I love. So I'm like, okay, I feel more confident at prompting for knitwear. And so this piece I created based on kind of like the root structure
Hmm.
of the tree. And, you know, even though on the surface you see one tree, underneath it's connected to all the other trees that you can see
Hmm.
within the same area. And I really like that connection. So
Yes.
that's how I came up with this piece.
It looks so beautiful.
Thank you. I was really proud of this one actually. And this is one of a few. Um, this is the best one, I would say, because it shows the piece, but I like the way that the knit kind of then blends down into the roots of the tree,
Hmm.
which also kind of emphasizes the connectedness. So
Yes, the
this was my favorite.
interconnectedness. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm just admiring it. Like it's beautiful. It feels like even with the fabric that the model is wearing, like it feels like I can feel it. Like it doesn't like the
Yeah.
fact that you created this like using the power of technology, like it looks like I can like touch it and like feel that
And
fabric.
and and this is what I love about just AI creation in general, the fact
Mhm.
that you can almost create something that feels tangible without being tangible.
Right. Right.
Like you said, you can like almost imagine that knit, like you can
Yeah.
feel like the chunkiness, but it's not real.
Yeah.
It's just an image. So that that kind of like white space in the middle, I really love exploring, and I think that's driven quite a lot of developing my prompting and how I
Mhm.
describe things, because I'm I, I I am aware I'm very much in a tangible world, but those
Mhm.
skills and the detail that I have to go to there really helps to pull it through.
It looks beautiful. I'm still just like
Thank
like
you.
looking at it like because you realize like it's not just about fashion. Like of course, like
No,
fashion. At the same time, this is like it's artwork. It's art, and I
it
think
is.
that's the part that does excite me about like discussing like this part like from the magazine. Um, it's the creations, and not only do you get to appreciate the fashion side, but you get to create a completely new image. And I think that's what's really
Exactly.
fun. That's really fun.
And it's a lot more accessible, which I like as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
like minimal money money input, like
Mhm.
and anyone, like there's so many free platforms anyone can create, which I also love. And it kind of, for me, it fosters a lot of collaboration as well. Like
Mhm.
if people are interested in the same kind of area, you know, you can like exchange ideas, like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm working on this material, like how did you kind of create that? And then again, it builds the collaboration, it builds the community. So
Mhm.
it's definitely an arena that I love.
Yeah, I think it's so cool just it's like when I like this is so cool like seeing the artwork and then talking to the artist. It's like I can see your heart through your design, your value of collaboration, of the interconnectedness, and I'm seeing it like in like the knitwear.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
I love it.
That's super
Yeah,
cool. That's super cool.
I'm glad it came across. I'm glad it came across.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay. So you've collaborated with brands like Everlast, Porter Japan, and
Hmm.
even contributed to Olympic designs. Wow. Like,
Hmm.
is there a project that holds a special place in your heart, one that challenged or inspired you in unexpected ways?
Yeah, I let me see. I think a key collaboration. So at Adidas or Adidas, I did a
Adidas.
collaboration with Pharrell Williams, and it
Wow.
was part of his Hue collection, so Human Race. Um,
Okay.
and at the time, it was pretty new. It was basically new. But the what I loved about it is that, and there's a common thread here. Um, his vision is that everyone is coming together, like everyone is in community, they're collaborating,
Mm-hmm.
and that we're wearing these pieces, but it's just to show how interconnected we are as people. So that was a really
Mm-hmm.
great project to work on
That sounds
because
like Mother Earth.
it does, right? Like
Yeah.
his approach to how he worked with us, to how he spoke about his inspiration, you could just tell that he really valued the human element of fashion over
Mm.
the actual fashion itself. So that one kind of left a
Mhm.
lasting effect on me in that no matter what I'm doing, no matter what I'm working on, I'm always considering the individuals that I'm working with over what we're producing. So like just
Oh,
keeping that human
wow.
side in mind, and you know, everyone has different perspective. Let's respect those perspectives. Everyone has different ideas. Let's hear all the ideas. Um, we want to come to a solution instead of me just coming up with it myself. Like, why not get a group together and see what the best idea is we can come up with together? So, I think it's
Mhm.
a really nice approach that maybe you don't see so often,
Yeah.
and it's sometimes forgotten. So yeah,
Yeah.
that I really hold dear to my heart. Also, it was Pharrell Williams, and I was like, so also
You're
that,
like, "Wait a minute, hold up.
yeah, I'm like, is this
Hold up."
real? Literally,
How fun. That's fun.
it was amazing. It was an
And it
amazing experience, and the product, of course, turned out amazing because everyone put their heart and soul into it, and yeah,
yeah.
it was just a true reflection of that human vision that he had, and I'm very happy that I got to experience that and be a part of it and was able to take that lesson away.
Yeah, that is so like inspiring. Just, I think you are right. Like sometimes that human element is forgotten, like where it's almost like an afterthought. Like
I
with
know.
some designs, like I've tried heels that I'm like, no one is gonna be able to walk in these. Like,
Totally. I'm like, was there a foot involved in this design?
yeah, was there? Yeah. So it's like, I think that is, I do appreciate that story and that part of your journey as well, just hearing it. Um, because that's what I think fashion is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be
It
about
is.
beauty, but also like like humanness and the beauty of humanness. So that's very touching.
Yeah, I love it. And I just hope everyone remembers that. Humans first.
Humans first.
Humans first. Yeah,
At the end of the day, humans first.
exactly.
So, as someone who already has a rich experience in fashion and product development, what do you hope to accomplish one day?
So right now in my current role, I'm doing a lot of work on not the product itself, but the process of getting that idea into a tangible product. So everything from like material sourcing to line planning to prototyping. Um, we use a lot of technology, but
Hmm.
what I haven't seen is a lot of integration of AI into the space. So
Okay.
I'd love to find a way to kind of create solutions for brands that kind of takes attention away from the kind of like data work, background work that has to be done so
Hmm.
that they can
Hmm.
focus more on the creation. I
Yeah.
think AI plays a big role in that, whether it's kind of like helping to do the sketches or helping to build tech packs
Hmm.
to send to vendors or like analyzing sales so that we can forecast correctly. Like I think the integration is quite low right now. So like being able to build something or a series of
Yeah.
systems that can help facilitate that process, I think we're really good because I think like I said, what we need to get to is the human connection, the collaboration. So allowing people to focus
Yeah.
on that rather than spending time behind screens and computers, I think would be a really good
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that. Like reducing as much screen time as possible, I think helps like with creation, like being in the present moment,
I agree.
talking to people, like actually talking to people.
Like
So
going out into the world, yeah. Like
going out
be
into the
with the people that you're
world.
designing for, you know?
Yeah.
Experience those experiences that they're going to use your product in. Like if you're a running company, like go run or spend
Yeah.
time with the runners, that kind of thing. So
I like that.
yeah, why
That's a
not?
that's a that's a good one. Like, yeah, like
Yeah,
stick with the vision.
first hand, that's like first hand information there. That's like gold.
Yeah. That is really smart. So, as we come to an end of this episode, what advice would you give to someone who is curious about fashion tech?
I would say it's a big area. So
Mhm.
there's no shortage of avenues that you can go down and things that you can explore. Um, if I think the way to get in is to decide what area you kind of want to focus on or what skill you want to
Mhm.
gain, and then kind of narrow your focus that way.
Mhm.
Because once you build a skill in one area, it's easy to translate across. Um, Learn from the people that you're with. Reach out to people that you admire or you have heard about that you want to kind of get their insights into the area that you want to explore. Most people
Mhm.
are actually open with replying to random emails, although
Yeah.
people will have you think they're not. Like a lot of people are really open with the information that they're giving. Um,
Mhm.
Join groups, join clubs. Um, read. There's like we have so much
Yeah.
information out there. Like just do your own research. Build your community because they're going to be the ones that are going to support you in your career
Mhm.
or in your endeavor. and then stay curious.
Stay curious.
That's just my favorite one. Like, be open to what opportunities or information comes your way. Don't be fixed in the avenue that you think you're going to go in. Just be open to the possibility.
Yeah. I'm listening too. I'm like,
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Everything's changing. Just stay open. Stay open.
Well, thank you so much, Krystyne. Thank you so much for meeting with me today and sharing your journey. I feel like we've touched on so many like different things that I think it's important for other people to hear. And for anybody who's watching, make sure to get your attendance badge. You can see the QR code at the bottom of the screen. And other than that, I don't really have much else to say. Again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching, those who are tuning in, and you all have a wonderful rest of your week.